Good morning, YouTube people world. Half-fast, back at it. Yesterday, actually, let's go back to the day before. The day before, I pulled out the brake booster and started cleaning the. Pulled out the stock brake booster master cylinder. And then stuck some new hinge pins on the door. And was pressure washing everything with Purple Power. Works great. So on these drive shafts, they got new U-joints. Basically, all the drive shafts have new U-joints, which is good. But anyway, been cleaning the transfer case. This thing was soaked with just nasty stuff. Oh, I don't know if that's a trans adapter, but it's some sort of adapter plate that I'm assuming it is allowing the transfer case to be clocked. So yeah, I don't really know exactly what this is. I haven't even looked it up, part number or anything. But I'm pretty sure it clocks the transfer case. Unless it's some type of spacer adapter. But that would kind of be dumb. Anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's something. PR. Or is it supposed to say RIP? Real important people. And then, yeah, yesterday, well, the day before, we had some solar people come out, kind of a pain in the butt people. Real persistent on getting us to go solar, and I kept telling them I don't want to go solar right now. But I don't think technology's there right now. I think within the next 5 years you could probably get as much power out of one solar panel as 6 solar panels they have out right now. I could be wrong, but I would like to hope that that's the case. So anyway, they were here. We were supposed to tear the whole transmission apart, transfer case, do all kinds of stuff, but they were here just blabbing and just like double talking. I don't know if you guys know what double talking is, but it's where they say something and you're like, oh, okay. And they're like, yeah, just like you said. And you're like, just because I said okay doesn't mean that's what I said. But anyway, that they kept doing a lot of that. And then I kept telling them, you know, I want to build a shop and then put the solar panels on the shop. And they're like, okay. I'm like, well, that's going to be 5 years down the road, blah, blah, blah. And she finally said, well, we're not interested in people that aren't interested in us. I said, okay, there's always another company. Have a good day. But it was a lot more than that, but yeah. So, back to the video. They were here forever, is all I'm getting at. Got everything cleaned up. I tore all the gears, everything apart, tore it all down, the little springs, the little retainers in here, the clutches, or the synchros as you would call them. Everything's clean. That's the stock input shaft right there. This is the, I want to call it an idler gear, maybe. I haven't cleaned that yet. And I believe those are for 5th gear, or no, that's for the input shaft. Look at this, so you see what I'm talking about. That's for the input shaft, and this is for 5th gear, I believe. Maybe not. No, it's for first gear and reverse gear, maybe. It's basically in the front. So where this goes, that goes stacks on top of those gears, whichever one they are. But some of the carnage. Got a busted bearing. This is a thrust bearing that goes on the input shaft to the main shaft. Freaking plague. Yeah, so we ended up ordering a bunch of parts. So I'll just go through the list on my phone. Got them all on eBay from Superior, whatever. They do the gears, axles. Yeah, let's go to the eBay. I'm trying to get a clutch right now, but it's some stupid company. Excuse me. I'm trying to get a South Bend clutch single disc. The guy had it up for sale for $727 or best offer. Offered him $700. He counter offered with $785. And I said, how are you going to counter offer 60 something dollars more? And he goes, it's not 60 something dollars more. Well, I always screenshot what I buy or what I'm offering or trying to buy so that I know what I'm trying to buy, or I keep records. So $727, and this is his ad because I have video. This is his item. I did a whole little video thing because I sent it to my kid. I was like, look at this one. 1 3/8 input shaft, $750 or $727, and Poway, California, My Garage Auto Parts. Anyway, so yeah, $727. This is the same one that he raised the price, $787. Poway, Poa, whatever you call it, California. My Garage Auto Parts. Same guy, same ad, same everything. So he sent me a counter offer of $785, and I sent him a message. It was like $785. It's $727. Buy it now. And he goes, "Oh, we had to change the price because it's the last one." I'm all, the last one in the world? And he's like, "No, it's our last one, and I don't see when we're going to be buying some soon." And I said, "So that's price gouging." I'm all, okay, whatever. So he's like, "Sorry, $785 is the cheapest we can do." So anyway, he did a 2-day deal. So I'm trying to get a Valère clutch for $900, dual disc, rated for more horsepower. Because we're thinking with the P pump, with everything this truck has, injectors, cams. I don't know if the kid's gonna want to go through it on a dyno, but we're thinking this truck's pushing at least 600 or more horsepower. Anyway, that last clutch is only rated for 400 horsepower. So, yeah. So this is what we got coming. We got some install shims, because the shims that were on the transmission, on the plates where the shims go, on the main shaft, they were like metal shards were like welded into them. I'll go grab one real quick so I can explain it. So let's see if you can see these. So we have all these metal shards that are all on these. So and they're just shims. They don't spin. They don't do anything. But and the other shim for the counter shaft, which is the lower one. That shim is fine, but it's only one. So I want to be able to shim this properly. And as good as I can. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up. So then we ordered a 1 3/8 input shaft. So it's from Superior Gear, Superior Transmissions, or whatever you want to call it. $121. And I messaged them. I was like, "What's it made out of?" And he's all hardened steel. I was like, "Oh, okay." Stupid. Like, not 4070 or chromoly or, nothing, like the material. What's it made out of material wise? Not what's the process of the steel. But anyway, whatever. It's a good company, so whatever. Oh, I'm tracking. We ordered 5th gear. Oh, because this is both. So we ordered the 5th gear, the big one, this one here, because this one's all messed up. And then we ordered the small 5th gear. So that gear, which is this one, which is all broke did. So yeah, those two gears are going to be replaced. What else did we order? Oh, so we ended up ordering this style lock nut. So basically how this works is you take the lock nut, and washer. There's supposed to be a crush washer, 2 set screws, and 2 brass pucks. So you thread this. It's basically this. You thread this lock nut, or this nut on. But there's supposed to be a crush washer. This one doesn't have a crush washer. So you put the crush washer on, you thread this on, you beat it with a chisel and a hammer to tighten it, because they say the tool to use for this, and I think it's supposed to be torqued to 400 foot-pounds. They say the little tangs that grab it usually break or flare out, so they just say it's better just to take a chisel and a big hammer and just beat it clockwise. So anyway, then you'll take the pucks, you'll take the little brass pucks, you'll drop them in the holes. This one's got 2, so you would drop the two pucks in there, make sure they're flat, so that way that doesn't ruin the threads. And then you take, I don't know, I'm going to be cleaning everything with brake clean, carb clean, whatever I can to get everything, all the grease, whatever, oil off it and off the set screws so that the Loctite bonds really well. So we're going to do that. And then you take that piece. That piece is the main important piece, because this nut will be on here, and then that piece right there slides over this spline, the shaft, and retains it. And then when you put the tail shaft or the tail piece on, this piece, that piece can't go any farther than here, so it can't back out. So basically it's just more assurance. So the more parts, whatever, everything is good. So anyway, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'll show you guys when I'm building it. And then we ordered a rebuild kit, and they're using Koyo bearings. It's really only people I could find that sells a rebuild kit. I found a bunch of other places for rebuild kits, and they're using Chinese bearings instead of Japan bearings. The Koyo bearings are Japan, and Temkin bearings are US, supposedly. US. These are Temkin bearings, which are fine. I believe they're Temkin. No, this one's Koyo. It says Koyo, rip them up, index finger. So this one I had to break. I had to break this one off to get it off the main shaft in the front, because it's a kind of like a blind bearing. Oh, it goes down on the secondary shaft down there. So it presses on, and there's no way to grab it on the back. So what you do is you take the cage, you cut it. I cut the cage, got all the little needle bearings out. Cage cut, needle bearings. And then that reveals this piece here. And then you get a bearing puller tool, which I have from the Harbor Freight, and it just clamps onto this here, and then has a bolt that you thread in, and it boop 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 pulls it right off. So this was really tight on there. So yeah, that's a Koyo bearing. Well, this is a Koyo bearing too. I thought they were for sure they were Timken. So, because this is the lower shaft. Let's see, what is this bearing then? Yeah, this is Timken. Canada. Oh, jeez. But yeah, this is Timken, and there is one on the input shaft. Oh my gosh. Right there. And I'm not going to be able to read what that one is, because this is the same thing. It's kind of a blind bearing, I guess you would call it. There's no way to get anything back here to like chisel it off. So to replace this one, you do the same thing. Just cut the cage. Cut. Get all the bearings out. Stick a puller on there. And then in the anyway, battery died. Yeah, so in the kit, the bearing puller comes with extensions to make that extension longer. But yeah, it's all clean. Everything's cleaned up. Need to find somebody to take care of some animals. Hear how loud these stupid things are. And they just destroy this tree. They pick at the tree. Anyway, it's like bald spots on the bark. Anyway, we got this all cleaned up. One tool I recommend, highly recommend, which I really like now that I've used it. I haven't done a tool review on it because I haven't really used it, but on this truck I've used it a lot. This little die grinder. It's a little 2-inch right angle die grinder from Milwaukee. It's brushless, using the Scotch-Brite pads. Cleaned up all the surfaces. Cleaned up basically all the gasket, silicone surfaces. These were coated with silicone. Everything was coated with silicone. Pretty nasty. So yeah, cleaned it all up with that angle grinder, die grinder, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so today I think I'm going to just chill out, relax. It's been hot. I've been working in 100 plus degree temperature, and yeah, I do fine in the heat. But so yeah, I'll have to go to work on Monday. Drive up there to work. Won't be back for 8 days, and then we have that brake booster, hydro booster. Got all the hoses, lines. The only thing I need is the adapters to adapt it from these to what's in there right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go to auto parts store and just see if they can just give me the adapters, because I tried looking up the sizes of the threads and the type, because they got bubble flare and double flare and inverted flare. So I got all these different names, but two different companies say that they're different for this. This is off of 3rd gen Cummins, but anyway, gotta play with that later. Got all the other parts off, and yeah, we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens, people. And once we get the rebuild kit, once I come back, we'll be assembling this. I didn't show you guys disassembling this because there's plenty of videos out there. But yeah, and then there's little springs and little tangs that I had to put in here. You know, cleaned them all because they're pretty gummed up. So cleaned them all, put them all in here, and then when I assemble everything, everything's dry right now. When I assemble everything, I'll soak it with whatever transmission fluid this thing takes, because to me it looked like they had ATF in here, which I don't think you're supposed to have ATF in these older transmissions. So, let me see, it's red. But I could be wrong. It's either that or the transfer case is supposed to have tranny fluid and it seeped into here. But because the seals are shot, because all that metal just cut the seals up. So yeah, we'll research that, see what we're supposed to put in there. It says on the tag to use a part number of some sort. Oh man, where's it at? Oh boy. Ow, that hurt. Anyway, it says right there, fluid fill, and then there's a part number. So anyway, I'll look up that part number, see what the deal is. But it cleaned up pretty nice. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.